Hi guys, welcome to a new episode of Talking Sports with Tarkesh. After the IPL mega auction, we are here discussing the best playing 11 of each team and how they set up their rosters for the upcoming season. So starting off, we'll be beginning with Delhi Capitals today. Delhi Capitals had a bit of controversy going into the auction because they didn't retain Rishabh Pant and still went up till 21 crores to get him in the auction. But eventually LSG outbid him for that. But let's see, they're forming their playing 11. I think they'll be starting off with KL Rahul for sure, a steal that they got for rupees 14 crores. I'm not sure whether he'll like playing in that surface at the Arun Jaitley Stadium in Delhi. But let's see, for 14 crores, I think they've gotten a good deal. If they give him the captaincy ahead of Faf du Plessis and Axar Patel remains to be a question that needs to be answered. But I'm sure Rahul will be desperate to prove that he's still got it in him in the T20 format. So he'll be starting at number 1. Number 2 will be Jake Fraser-McGurk, a great player. One of the finds of the IPL, I'd say, from last season. He blasts off in the power play, and I think he'll provide the perfect foil to Rahul, who sometimes needs some time to get his kick in the T20 format. Number 3 for DC will be Abhishek Porel. He was retained ahead of the auction. He solves the wicket-keeping woes, and he provided some good cameos for them last season, so you can float him around the batting order. Number 4 and number 5 are great picks in my books. They are Harry Brooks and Tristan Stubbs. Stubbs they retained for 11 crores. Brooks they got for around 5.2 crores. Brook is a player who still needs to prove that he's got it in him to play in the IPL, right? He had that odd ton for SRH, but since then he hasn't really lined up those consistent performances. But the fact that he's so good against spin shows that he can play well in the middle order, in the lower middle order also. But Brook could be a great fit for DC if he gets going. My only concern with all these batters, all these great stroke players, are the pitches that DC tend to lay out. Like, I remember watching so many of their afternoon games and there's nothing in the surface for the batters. And they tend to go inside a shell playing on such surfaces, and that's why I want them to provide better surfaces, It helps their batters, it helps their bowling unit, which is jam-packed, absolutely well stacked for this season. At number 6 in my books is one player who's been a star of the IPL from last season. Indian finishers, Indian middle order batters are worth their weight in gold in the IPL, and Ashutosh Sharma did something that no other player had done before in the IPL, playing that role at number 6, number 7 to perfection, and even sweeping someone like Jasprit Bumrah for a 6, Who could have imagined that? So Ashutosh Sharma at number 6 for 3 odd crores has been a great pick. Number 7 is Axar Patel. I think he's the biggest star in DC as of now. Retained for 16 crores, 16.5 crores. It shows that they trust him and they'll want him to play a full-fledged role, like no slacking off in batting as well. He was made to bat for more than he would have wanted in the last season, but someone who can knock Kagiso Rabada for a 6 over his head in the T20 World Cup final can surely prove his batting at DC for a longer period of time. Number 8 will be another retention for them, that's Kuldeep Yadav. He's grown as a bowler in the last few years. He's been adding up to his pace and his skill sets have been varied. And Kuldeep Yadav and Axar Patel form one of the best spinning duos, I think, in the IPL. Number 9 will be Mitchell Starc, a big slump for him from 25 odd crores to 11 crores this year. But Starc in that depth solves a role. And death bowlers, I think IPL teams tend to overlook, but if you just solve that death bowling bit, you're sorted for around 5 to 6 matches this season, because these bowlers contain runs, take wickets, and ensure that you don't slip away from the game in a pace that many teams do. And helping Starc in the death will be Mohit Sharma, who was a net bowler for GT in 2023 before he was brought into the squad mid-season, and he had a breakout run. Even last year, he's just simply unplayable in the death in certain times. He has so many variations, but he nails the Yorker also, and he's someone who's been in the IPL ecosystem for 10 years now, so he knows, he's very smart that way, so he'll go about his business well. Filling up their spots of the playing 11 will be Mukesh Kumar. Mukesh Kumar was RTM'd by DC for 8 crores. So they've been someone who they've scouted, DC have scouted over the years, and they didn't want to let go of him. Again, a great Yorker bowler. So if you see in Starc, Mohit and Mukesh, they've gotten their death bowling sorted out. So Mukesh is also good with his seaming up the ball in the opening overs, and Starc obviously brings the ball back in perfectly at around 145 and all. And even Axar can roll over his arms in the opening overs. So DC's bowling, I think, arguably one of the best in the league. impact player, they can use Sameer Rizvi, someone touted as the next Suresh Raina by many players. Last season, he didn't really show his potential as much for CSK, but he can be brought into the side to beef up their batting order. So, DC fans, let me know your thoughts. I think after a long time, DC have a squad you can look forward to win the title, the coveted first title. But let me know, what do you think? Can they really win the IPL Championship this time around?